Hey everyone, thanks for tuning into today's second video. So we're doing CANSIPS Saturday for today's second video. We're going to have a look at 6 months ahead with the Canadian long-range model at website tropicaltidbits.com. You can find link Tropical Tidbits on the links page. Now, as I always say with these 6 month look ahead videos, both the CANSIPS and the CFS 6 months look ahead, it's a bit dubious what we're doing, really. If we look at the first month or two, then okay, there is some merit in what we're doing. But as we go out sort of 3, 4, 5, 6 months away, it really is in the realm of speculation. It's just for fun, not to be relied upon at all. I know a lot of you do enjoy seeing these 6 months look ahead videos because it's always interesting to see what the models are expecting to be around the corner. As I say, this could take us right away through the spring into summer, even into the start of autumn in September. So it's always interesting, and I realise that, and people enjoy it, seeing what might be around the corner. But always with that caveat that it isn't to be relied upon. It's just for fun and a bit of speculation. Now, earlier on today, we did weekend forecast, of course, as always on a Saturday. You can find that underneath this video on the homepage. Just scroll down the homepage a little bit, it'll be there underneath this video and the link ads. Also got the written version, of course, of weekend forecast. You can find that on the written forecast page, 5 and 7 day written forecast page. You get that via the menus at the top of the page. Pages here at Gasworthies. So weekend forecast, yeah, that's up for you to enjoy as you want. Tomorrow we're going to be having a look at the solar sunny. It's solar sunny tomorrow. So we're going to be having a look at solar activity, solar cycle 24, and all of that kind of thing. Haven't done a solar Sunday since August, I don't think. So it's been a very long time coming, and tomorrow we're going to do one. But before I get on with CANSIPS Saturday, just want to say about the ads. So there's links to articles on all pages. Have a browse through widgets and click through the links if there's any articles that you're interested in. And thanks very much for doing that. There's video ads on most pages. They open up the content, you can close back up again, and it is helping to pay for the website. Right, we're going to start off with the mean sea level pressure anomalies from the CANSIPS model, and then we'll have a look at the corresponding temperature and precipitation anomalies as well. So we're going to start off with April. This is where we're beginning for this month's update. Mean sea level pressure for April is looking like this. The British Isles is over in the far right hand corner of the chart. As you're looking at it, we're always sitting perched on the edge of these longer range charts, so that's where we are. So for April, we've got a trough of low pressure more or less over the top of the country. Actually, it's a very unsettled looking signal for April, with a ridge sitting up to the north and also extending down towards Greenland. So I expect that to be quite a cool, unsettled signal for April. We'll have a look at the corresponding temperature and precipitation on this and go for this in a moment, but that doesn't look great to be starting off with a fairly cool, wet month possible in April. We go through to May and things don't look a great deal better. We have lost the blocking up to the north, but nevertheless we've still got troughs of low pressure running through the Atlantic into the UK, also centred across Northern Europe as well. So it means that the jet stream with this is running more or less through the country, and it's going rather like that. So unsettled looking signal as we're going through into May. April and May both looking pretty unsettled here. You would expect above average rainfall, maybe cool temperatures as well. This is how June looks, and this one isn't that great either. The trough of low pressure is still anomalously sitting to the north, so it's a deeper trough than you would expect, as indicated by the blue colours. It's a deeper area of low pressure, excuse me, than you would expect in June. I've got a bit of ridging from the Azores high, so that could be preventing the south from being too bad. The south might get away okay, but the north, it isn't a very good signal for June, and it is rather tenuous, I have to say, even for the south. Now, July possibly a little bit better. It looks like the trough is lifting out a little bit. The low pressure could be lifting up to the north, and this ridge could be extending up from the Azores a little bit, rather like that. So I think July could be a bit better. Always hard to interpret these charts from a CANSIPS side, but I think July could be a little bit better, with pressure at least rising to something closer to average. But as we go through into August, it looks like low pressure coming back again, if anything. So once again, the ridge around the Azores is there, but I think it's all a bit tenuous this summer. And I said, have a look at the temperature, precipitation anomalies that are going with this, but there could be some reasonable weather, a few reasonable days at times, but overall I think the signal for the summer looks rather tenuous. I mean, no sign of a proper ridge of high pressure building in for that. For example, we've got a proper ridge over here in the northern Pacific, just here, and if it's getting proper ridge in, building in from the Azores this summer, you would expect to be seeing these sort of orange red colours building in that we've got, such as we've got just there. There's no real sign for that. So I think overall the summer could be looking a bit grim, really, a bit cool, a bit showery. Not great, I don't think, for the summer. As we go through into the autumn, and as far as we're going to go, 6 months ahead, so we really are just in the realm of speculation and being just for fun. But for September, signs of some ridging, perhaps building further north into the Atlantic. Trough of low pressure, have to come over to this side of the chart. Trough of low pressure looks like it's in across Scandinavia. So the jet stream could be going something like that, really, through September. It could be drier, but even then, it's not saying a great deal. There's no sign of a real big, strong build of pressure there. Even as we're going into September. It's 6 months away though, so let's not worry too much about that. So that's how the mean sea level pressure anomalies look. They're always a little bit difficult to decide, but let's see how the temperature and precipitation is stacking up with all of this. So we're starting off in April, which, remember, looked like being a pretty cool wet month. For temperatures, it's not as bad as I was expecting, actually. Temperatures are coming out close to average. I was expecting probably a colder than average month, but it's near normal temperatures as we're going into April. Near normal temperatures also for May. So those 2 months that I thought probably fairly cold or cool and wet. They're not as bad as I was expecting with the temperatures. They're not great. There's no sign of anything particularly warm coming up in April or May. But it's just sort of average temperatures, really, for the middle and second half of the spring. We go into June. That's looking average with the temperatures as well. So April, May, June, I thought all of those months looked a bit cool, really, with the temperatures. They aren't coming out cooler than average. They're coming out close to average. But again, it's not particularly good signal. I mean, we're not talking about particularly warm weather here, just not perhaps quite as bad as I thought they could be in terms of these temperatures in those months. July, which I thought would probably be a bit better, that's coming out close to average as well. But notice over here we're going a bit above average for central and southern parts of Europe. So I think July, out of all of the months, perhaps holds the best prospect for seeing something warmer up to that point. August, I thought August was looking a bit grim, but August actually goes a bit above average. So we're just about nudging up into those pale sort of beige colours there, and most of Europe going warmer than average as well. So this could imply that temperatures are improving as we're going through the summer, and we get to August, we get the warmest month of the summer, albeit it's not particularly hot, but August, on this particular update from CANSIPS anyway, it looks like the warmest month of summer. For September, remember in September the ridge is building more to the northern Atlantic, so it's sending a jet stream more like that. So the temperature seem actually weakens for September, and we just go back towards average once again. Overall, the temperatures over the next 6 months really are coming out close to average. August goes a bit above average, but generally nothing particularly exciting here with the temperatures. Let's have a look at rainfall then. This is precipitation anomaly for the coming 6 months. So April coming out wetter than average. I was expecting that because, of course, we've got the ridging up to the north somewhere around here. And then we've got a trough of low pressure almost at the top of the country. So it means we entrench cold air into that trough. So I was expecting a wetter than average month for April, and I think really given the pattern, it might be a bit on the over-optimistic side with those temperatures coming out average. I think if the pattern set up as the model is predicting, particularly with this wetter than average signal that we've got here in the UK, if things did set up like that, I suspect we'd come away with a cooler than average month in April. May also coming out wetter than average, so a pretty grim couple of months there for April and May, I'm afraid, both of them coming out wetter than average. June, 3 months away, so going into the unreliable time frame, but June isn't as bad. Still a little bit wetter than average in the far north. Remember, the trough of low pressure in June is sitting to the north of Scotland around here, so it is wettest in the north and west, but most parts of the country actually just coming out with near normal rainfall in June. A bit of an improvement there compared to April and May. July does look a bit better. Look at this for precipitation. July is generally a little bit drier than average, so a definite improvement going on here as we're going into the summer months in terms of rainfall, and also a little bit anyway in terms of temperatures. Precipitation goes back to average though for August, so this is a bit odd for July and August. The temperatures in July are looking average, and then warmer than average in August, but the precipitation in July is looking drier than average, whereas in August there's a deterioration to near normal rainfall. So obviously we get more rainfall in August compared to July, because July is a bit drier than average. So quite what to make of that, I'm not sure. It's all a very long time away. Anyway, the overall idea, taking June, July and August as a season as a whole, is that it's a pretty mixed summer, and to be honest, it's not looking that great. And in terms of the precipitation finally for September, just the start of the autumn, that goes a bit drier than average. Probably makes sense because it's building a ridge out to the west of us across the northern Atlantic, so it's sort of blocking off the Atlantic to some degree, with the jet stream going rather like that. So you'd expect a fairly cool month, but you expect it to be quite dry as well. It's 6 months away, so let's not worry about it. Finally, just want to have a quick look at El Niño, see what the CANSIPS model is predicting to happen in the Pacific for the coming 6 months. So this is the sea surface temperature anomaly map for April. Still signs that the El Niño event is just about holding on. It's clinging on there, particularly in central and western parts of the Pacific Ocean around here. It's just about holding on, but it is weakening. Let's see what happens as we go into the spring, and again just about hanging on, although it's weakened further as we go through into May. Let's go further on into June and look at that. It begins to go colder than average across the central part of the Equatorial Pacific. That's the beginnings of a La Niña, a cold event signal. Does it strengthen that? It did last month. Let's see if it does it again this month. This is how July's look, and a dramatic plunge in temperature has taken place there from June into July. Well, really from April to May, from May to June to July, the temperatures are collapsing on a month-by-month basis. So now we've got really quite a strong La Niña taking place in the central part of the Equatorial Pacific Ocean. And that just continues into August, really, and into September as well. By the time you get through to September, we've got a strong and a mature La Niña taking place. It looks like it's more western and central based in this area than it is over towards the east. So if you like, it's kind of like a Madoki or a Madaikai La Niña. Quite what that means for us, a central or western based La Niña as opposed to an eastern based La Niña, I'm not sure. I'll have to do a lot of research on it if I can. But the definite signal there is certainly for a cold event for La Niña to develop and strengthen through the course of the summer and into the autumn. The temperature anomaly there is going really quite cold, so by the time we get through to September, for instance, this central part, I'll just get rid of the camera quickly while I talk about this central part just here looks like it's going down to around 2 Celsius colder than average. It's in that sort of zone there on the colour scale. So that really is quite a strong La Nina. It will be one of the strongest La Ninas for a very long time. But the CANSIPS model is probably going over the top, and no other model is going that cold with La Nina. But quite a big event there being predicted by the CANSIPS model for the summer and into the autumn, and that probably does have an effect on the charts we've been looking at in terms of the summer, which, although it's quite a way off, it does tie in really with this La Nina, because it's not a great summer being predicted. We've had worse in La Nina years, or years that are flipping from El Nino to La Nina. We've had worse summers than this model is going for. For example, 2007 was a year that went from El Nino to La Nina in the summer. So we've had worse summers than the CANSIPS is predicted, but even so, it's not a great signal really for the summer, with most of the months looking average sort of temperatures and precipitation, not all that great. The patterns don't look tremendously inspiring in terms of the sea level pressure anomalies either. It's all a very long time off. Let's come back to the nearer time frame, April and May, and they're both looking a bit mixed really. I think the temperatures for April are looking on the model about average, with wetter than average precipitation, above average rainfall. But given the pattern, I reckon we'd probably have quite a cold, wet month of it in April, and it continues into May, generally a bit grim. And the summer, as I say, not looking all that good either, unfortunately. So, well, I have a bit of fun with these 6-month look aheads, but increasingly as I'm doing them, they're not coming out all that great, unfortunately. The ones leading up to the winter tended to always be going for mild weather in winter. I know most of you want cold. Now, most of you will be wanting hot summer, and again, the models aren't playing ball, but I can't do anything about it. It's just the way the models come out. But I hope you enjoyed the CANSIPS Saturday update. Anyway, we'll look at CANSIPS again at the start of next month. That one will take us into October, so already we'll be getting towards the end of the year with these 6 months look aheads from next month. Right, that's all for now. Remember, it's Solar Sunday tomorrow. Come back for that. If you haven't seen weekend forecast yet, check that out. And also tomorrow, very exciting, we'll have some news about the summer from our good friend Terry Scully. Will be giving us some early thoughts for spring and summer, as well as Solar Sunday tomorrow. So it's all happening. That's all for now. Thanks for watching.